Alright gang, welcome back to our playthrough on Erlengrat. You can see it's still March. You'll be like, wait a minute, Z, you're supposed to be going to the next month. You're right, I was supposed to. But I forgot about doing lime. We completely forgot in the last episode to do the lime. So we're going to do the lime really quickly, and then we will jump to April. Now, well, we might jump to April. May even go to May. Just depends. We don't have anything to do after this until something is ready to harvest. So we're going to have to kind of keep our eye on when something's going to be ready. I believe that possibly the soybeans will be ready next month. It's pretty dark green there, so I think that they're going to be done. But there's always a chance that they're not, right? There's always a chance, so we'll see what happens and pivot and figure out what month to go to from there. Now, we're going to have to make a couple of trips for the lime here. Unfortunately, this just does not have enough lime. It does not hold enough lime to do the whole field. So we're going to have to make a few trips to do this. But I would be remiss if we did not do the lime on this one right off the bat, because we've been doing it on all the other fields. So if we didn't do it on this field, then we're already in trouble. But how's everybody doing today? Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully you got to check out the previous episode of the 200 horsepower challenge. If you have not, no spoilers, but that, well, I guess this is kind of a spoiler if you haven't, but you should have already saw that thumbnail, so shouldn't be. That was the last episode of the 200 horsepower challenge, so I hope you all enjoyed it. I am recording this before that episode comes out. So it was a fun series, man. It was a fun series. It will be missed. But I'm excited for this new one. I'm excited to push the limits a little bit because I mentioned before there are a few things within there that I really haven't done a whole lot of. So I'm a little bit more of a noob, I guess, in that sense on a few of the things. But, I mean, it's not anything crazy. It's not that difficult to do them. So I just haven't really done them that much. So I'll have less experience than everybody else, I guess is what I'm trying to get at. But that one should, fingers crossed here, I spent a little time working on it already today. I should be ready to run that one next Tuesday. Well, I guess this coming Tuesday, if you're watching this video. Shouldn't have to take any breaks. Ooh, we slid all over the place there. I talked about in the video itself, the 200 horsepower video, the last one, that if I can get it done on time, because there's a bunch of setup stuff that has to be done for this new series. If I get it done on time, we would just start on Tuesday. There'd be no break. But if not, I was just going to put something else in place of it. But I believe, unless something else crazy happens, I believe I will have it done and set up properly for Tuesday. Now, this is going to be a number of trips here to do this. Like I said, this field is quite large. It's our largest field on the farm. And I'm missing bits. I know I'm missing bits here, gang, but just bear with me. We'll have to come back and do some touch-up work. I'm not going to try to make it 100% perfect, but as long as we get most of it, I'm going to be pretty happy with it. Like those little bits right there, I'm not that concerned about that, honestly. If we have enough, once we make another trip or whatever, and we come back, and we do it then. But if we don't, then we don't, right? Back here again with another load of lime. I think we're going to have to do another trip, actually, looking at this, gang. I don't see any way that we're going to get this done without making another trip. And that's even if I, miss bits and skip bits. I still don't think we're going to have enough here. I like liming, but that's the only problem with liming, right? Is that it does take a lot of lime. And, it's a very... What's the word I'm looking for? I was going to say demanding, but I don't really think demanding is the correct word. It's a really, strenuous activity, I guess, of having to continue to drive back and forth, filling up the lime tanks. Strenuous isn't the right word either, but maybe you can figure out the word I'm trying to get to. If not, maybe you understand at least what I'm trying to say. Actually, we might not have to make another trip. I don't think we're going to. Huh. Well, I am wrong. Now, a number of you, I think, asked me how I've got the lime to spray out with the effect that it does. I think it's either just this mod, it's the Stora mod, the Hercules mod, or it's just how it is. Because I feel like even if I don't use this one, and maybe it's not the same level, maybe that's what they're trying to get at, but even if I, don't use this spreader, the lime still makes that effect. So I don't know. But anyway, maybe if you see that as well and it doesn't look like that on your game, maybe let me know down below. Maybe there is something to it. Maybe it's just this Star Hercules. But I feel like this is how, whenever I spread lime, how it always looks for me. I don't know. Alright, let's jump some months here until we got something ready to harvest here, gang. Alright, it is indeed April. I believe it's fixed. If you recall, the last time we harvested, remember this was all awkwardly positioned on there? It looked like it was, like, broke. Remember that? I think it's okay now. I mean, it looks relatively straight to me. Yeah, I think it's fine. So, I guess just resetting the game fixed it, but that was... I'd never really experienced that, so that was something. But our soybeans are ready to harvest, so this will be going directly into the silo once again. Reason for that is soybeans are not best until June, I believe. Or around June. So we'll at least wait until May, because the price should be better in May than it is in April. This is exciting. It's our second field we've harvested already. What, episode what? 7? I don't remember. 7, I think. Is it 7? Now I'm questioning myself. Now I'm gonna have to look. No, I don't know. Let me see. It is 7. Uh-oh. Well, I just looked at my computer, and this is a section, clearly, that's not flat enough, because, yeah. Or maybe I was just too far up the hill. Well, I just killed some crop there, gang. Sorry. It wasn't that much. It was just the tire tracks. It wasn't that much. It's alright. So, definitely not our biggest field, but it is still quite a large field here. Oh, here we go again. We're going to have this the whole time, aren't we? I'm going to spend a lot more money trying to flatten this land out, I think. I don't know if I can flatten the land out, and I don't know if it ruins the crop. I don't think I've ever even tried this. Let me just try it really quick. Let me see if I can flatten it out without ruining the crop. Okay, it doesn't really ruin the crop, so we're okay there. Maybe if I can flatten it out here for real quick. If I can flatten it out so then the harvester can hit that a little bit better, perhaps we won't have these issues. Well, let's give it a shot again. I don't know if that's really going to help or not, but we'll give it a shot. Seems to actually work a little bit. Well, nope. Okay, well, you know what we're going to do here? We're going to take a different approach. I'm going to go kind of inside of this, so then we're not on the hill, and then I'll have to try some different approach to get that portion of the soybeans out. If we just cut the inside off a little bit, well, the outside off a little bit, not the inside off. If we go the inside and cut the outside off a little bit like this, shouldn't have any issues. It should just be that section there, and I'll have to, maybe I have to Austin Powers that section. This should produce a lot of soybeans, though. This really should. This should be quite a harvest for us here. This is a lot of soybeans. We definitely got to spend a little time on the hills here. We might even actually in the next harvest just kind of cut this section off so we don't have the same issue again, because that is pretty steep right there. If you look at it, you can see the portions there that weren't even drilled. I mean, that's that's really steep right there. So I guess that's a no-brainer on why I was having issues harvesting that. So yeah, well, I think we're going to cut that off a little bit. But this is the first field I think I mapped out, lined out, and oh, there's somebody missed right there. So I think that was, you know, part of the problem. Really kind of went a little bit too high on portions of it that I wasn't really thinking that there'd be an issue, but clearly I was wrong. Oh boy. Well, we're just going to have to kill a little bit of that crop there, unfortunately. There's not a whole lot I can do on that one. I couldn't even get through there. But we shouldn't have any issues the rest of the way. As long as we stay off that outside edge there, I will work to try to get that outside edge done at some point. Austin Powers or whatever I end up having to do there. We'll figure something out for that. But we're going to get going here, gang. We'll put a bit of a time lapse in here. We'll get the soybeans here done. And, yeah. We'll see how much we get. All right, well, we're nearly done here, gang. I attempted to get some of that hill, and I was having a lot of issues, a lot of trouble, so I'm glad I tried to do that in the time-lapse instead of trying to do it here with you live at normal speed. So that would have been a little bit of a disaster, and yeah, so I think what's up there, even though it may not be the most financially smart, I think I'm actually going to leave it there, and we're going to touch that hill up a little bit. We're going to put some grass back down, so I don't attempt to drill that again, because that was not fun. That was a bit miserable, and obviously I couldn't even get all of it up. So now if I worked the harvester up on the hill in different angles, possibly I could have got a little bit more, but I mean, that's not a whole lot of room to work with. I put it a little too close to the road there already to begin with, so there really wasn't a whole lot of room for the harvester to maneuver. So we're just going to take that out altogether, take that out of the equation so we don't have to worry about that anymore. I did stop and spend a little bit of time right here trying to flatten this area out a little bit. Clearly it didn't work, because you can see we're still missing bits here. So that's something I'm going to have to continue to work on as well, I suppose. I really don't know what else to do. I just have to go up at it at a different angle, and it seems to pick it up. It's just at the side angle. Since this is on a hill, I think the header is being picked up by one portion of the hill, so it's not hitting, the other portion. But this is a little bit easier to deal with, right? We can manage this because we can just turn around and come back a different angle, no problem. But on that hill, with no room to maneuver the harvester, it's a little more difficult to take care of. Bit of a long time lapse there, gang, but lately those are what we've been having to put in because our farms in general are just getting large, right? They're just, well, this one is always going to be large because of where we're currently at and the money that we have, and it's going to continue to be that way. But we're going to need that money eventually for this campaign playthrough, right? When we get to Silver Run Forest, that's almost entirely woodworking, right? Now I could just go straight to the path of utilizing the wood chip, the Tree Devour. I'm not going to do that for that. I like that mod, it's great, but we use it a lot already as it is. I'm going to go about it, well, I don't know if it's really the old-fashioned way. It's probably not the correct word, but I was going to say that. I'm going to go around, I'm going to go about it like normal, right? I'm going to get an actual tree, I don't know what you would call it. I don't even know what they're called. It's a big old machine that cuts down the trees, and then it takes all the branches and everything off of it. It's a pretty amazing machine, real-life machine. So that's not really the old-fashioned way. That's like the new way, but not the unrealistic mod of Tree Devour, I guess is what I'm trying to get at. I haven't really utilized... I have, but not on the series. Or not on the channel, I should say. I haven't really utilized that equipment at all yet, so we really haven't had the money to do it. I mean, we could have probably done it on the 200 horsepower challenge, but I think most of that equipment was over 200 horsepower, I think. Unless we bought, standalone separate things to attach to a tractor or whatever. But I'm talking about the actual machines themselves, which I'm pretty sure they're all like 600 horsepower or more. So we couldn't have done it on that series. We had enough money to do it on the series, we just couldn't have done it based off the rules of the series. Now, we could do it probably on Mazzo eventually once we start selling more wood chips again during the best time, but I think I'm just going to save it probably for Silver Run Forest. I really don't think we need it. I think the Tree Devour is perfectly fine on that series. It's a very small farm-based series anyway, so I don't think I need that big of a piece of equipment for that kind of series, I guess is what I'm trying to get at. Let's see if we can hit this. I don't think it's going to matter, but whoop. Nope. Didn't turn it on. Let's do another U-turn here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this or not, and I don't even think it's really going to matter. It's such a small amount, but I would, I'd hate myself if I didn't try it. I always try to get every bit I can. Yeah, I don't think that really, I think I moved up 1 liter maybe. It didn't really do anything. Oh well. So let's unload this thing. And then the next step is really going to be re-drilling this field. And we're going to spray the field too. Actually, we'll probably wait to spray it to the next episode. I want to try out that sprayer and make sure it is the sprayer, which I think it is, that will only spray whenever there's weeds. Where if I do it now, it's going to spray the whole thing. Because it won't know where the weeds are. I need to go this way. So we're going to try that. I just drilled that sign. We're gonna just probably drill the field. Yeah, we'll just drill the field. We're not even gonna worry about spraying it. We'll spray it in the next episode when we fertilize it a second time. For a couple of periods of time when we were harvesting that field, I don't know if you saw it or not, but you probably didn't. Maybe you did. I don't know. It looked to me like I was having the issue again where the header was not flat, not straight, I guess. It was in an awkward position, but it did not be the case. Did not end up being the case. So let's go and load this into our silo. And we'll have to get the drill out. Could have went in that. I'm going to go around, actually. I didn't really put that in the best spot, did I? I really didn't give myself enough room for the size of this truck, this semi-truck, to turn and go into it. But if we come up this way, we have plenty of room to do it. Okay, here we go again. There we go. Yeah, it's just something to do with the tip side. It always wants to tip it on the back like we're going to dump it in there, but there's really not enough room to do it because of that overhang, so I have to tip it out the bottom. Or the front, I guess is what it's called. You just got to pick whichever one you want to tip out. Front, middle, back, whatever. That's what you got to do. Figuring it out slowly but surely here. Quick save. Saves are always happen at the wrong time. They always happen for me at the wrong time. I'm going to leave the semi here, actually. I don't think it's that in the way. Maybe a little bit, but it's not that bad. Let's jump in the case again. I really like this case. Let's use the case again. Was not the case you were wanting. Sorry. But it's a case nonetheless. We're going to put in canola this time. April. Canola seems like a good one to put in. So let's fill this up a little bit here. Now I don't think we're necessarily going to need this seed, but let's just go fill it up anyway. It won't cost us that much when we have 85% in there, so let's go ahead and fill it up anyway. This seeder, I always have issues getting it to fill up though, so let's see if I can get this to work. I always have to do some awkward maneuvering here to get this to fill up. There we go. It's always at the front. The other one, the cotton and the sunflowers and the corn, is at the back, so I get confused on which one it is as well. Now, before we start doing this, we're going to do what I said we were going to do, right? We're going to fix this. So let's put some paint down. We'll put some grass. Now we're going to have to, you know, do a little more touch-up work, but, I mean, I can do that off camera if I even get to it. To try to clean up, you know. Now, it's not perfect, gang. I mean, don't yell at me too much. I'm not trying to make it perfect in this series. I'm not going for that. I'm just trying to touch up the area here that we know was an issue, so I don't drill it by accident or anything else. You know what? We're just going to take it all the way around here. Because this is pretty severe up here, too. All right, that'll work. I think that's good enough. I'll have to come back in and add a little bit more, you know, grass to make it a little bit more realistic. Some of the meadow grass or whatever you want to call it, right? But that takes off the big severity there of that hill, and it shouldn't be an issue anymore. It does mean we lost a little bit of crop in the process, but I'm okay with that, considering the issues we had. All right, we're going to go with that. We're going to say that's good. All right, let's turn this thing on. And we're drilling. It's so nice that this drill has the ability for it to do the seed and fertilizer together. It really does make a huge difference for us. Saves us so much time. That's why I think all of us, and many of us, especially in general, always utilize those cheaper John Deere case drills from the 90s or the 80s, whatever it was from, because of that same exact reason, right? It's just, it's cheap, and those drills are insanely cheap. They've got a good width for what they are, and the speed's not terrible, and then you get to do seed and fertilizer at the same time. Saves you one step. The problem with putting the meadow in here, the grass that I put down, that, you know, that painted grass, and if I want to put the meadow in, it's so expensive. It's so expensive. So I might put a little bit in, but I don't know if I'm going to do all of it, though, gang. Just because that's just waste of money, right? We're trying to take the money that we make here and move on and take it to the next series. And that's money we would waste to do, so I don't know, we'll see. I might end up doing it, who knows? You never know with me, I always change my mind, right? I change my mind a lot. Alright, don't go too far into there, so you're going to start drilling that field with canola. We don't want to do that. Alright, that'll work. So what we're going to do here, gang, just like we did, like we always do normally, we're going to go around the headland here probably a second time. And then we'll, well, for the most part, try to do it the more traditional way. It won't be exactly traditional because it is an awkward shaped field, but we'll do most of it the more traditional way, like you would expect. I'm going to go up here a little bit further. I'm going to try something a little bit different on the start of the second pass here. Well, I say different. It's not really different. I'm still doing the same thing. I'm just starting at a different angle here. Now, I know I'm leaving something there. I'm going to come back and get it here in a second. I'm going to try to round it out a little bit better, because we're probably eventually, maybe not, I don't know. I was going to say we'll probably put it on a worker, but maybe not. Yeah, we probably won't, actually. But I will come back and get that portion. Don't worry. I'll come get it. It will get taken care of, I promise. I was just trying to make it look a little bit more realistic, right? Trying to go about it a little bit differently. So when we go our more traditional way here coming up, it be more standard than what you'd the way it's been going here with all these weird awkward turns and everything else. Just squaring it off, basically, is what I'm doing. Alright, don't go too far, Z. I think that's about as good as I'm going to get without killing any crop. So I don't love doing this, gang, but I think we'll put a bit of a mini time-lapse in here while I finish this up. It really will be a short one in comparison to the last one, right? That harvesting one was pretty long, but this one should not be long. It really shouldn't. It should be pretty straightforward, quick, simple drilling here because we're almost, I would say we're nearly halfway done already. So, shouldn't take us long. Let's get this done. Alright, that is the field. All done, gang. Like I said, we're going to wait to do the spraying in the next episode. Wait for some weeds to actually populate. Make sure that I was correct in my initial statement that it is a sprayer that will only spray the portions of the weeds that are there. It won't spray the whole field if it has, you know, knowledge of where the weeds are. We'll find out. Precision sprayer, I think is what it's called. I believe is what they're called. But we're going to find out. This is a terrible back end. See, this is a terrible way to end the episode, but we're going to leave it there, gang. So I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe button if you're new. It's free, helps me a ton. Thoughts, questions, comments, ideas, you know the drill. Let me know down below. Until next time, I'll catch each and every single one of you in the next episode.